doing this in my sleep. It all began with her reign as a Supreme, the original all-girl group that were the most successful black recording artists of their day. Since then, she's run the gamut from movie star to mom, but it always comes back to her gift for music. Please welcome a woman who truly puts the D in diva, and I mean that in the best sense of the word, Miss Diana Ross. You know I love you.
The D and diva, that's pretty hot.
That's pretty hot.
You know what it's like for me to sit next to two divas? You're the original diva. This one has patterned her whole diva life acting.
Wait a minute. I told you the other day, you're the main diva.
Oh, Miss Barbara Ross.
Yes.
Miss Barbara Ross. I'm like flustered here. Here today. I can't believe that you're going back on the road with the Supremes in the new millennium. Did you ever think you'd be here?
You know, I really didn't. I'm singing Baby Love after 40 years. I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen, and I'm very happy and surprised about it. It is a product of actually the media and the fans, because it was not my dream originally. I was going to go out on tour and do my promotional tour for my album, and all of a sudden, the fans and the audience wanted to see the Supremes. It was an idea whose time has come. So I'm happy to do it. I'm very excited about it.
It's interesting that a whole new generation
Yes.
loves the music. I mean, this isn't just us who remember. This is a whole new group. And I wanted to ask about that because Star and I have talked a lot about you and what it meant to young black women to have a Diana Ross who was a baby herself when you started, to see that someone could be beautifully dressed and elegant and successful. Were you aware that you had this kind of responsibility?
No, I didn't. I majored in fashion design and costume illustration in school, and I love beautiful clothes. I lived out of the magazines. I worked at Hudson's department store as a bus girl in Detroit, and the show windows were always beautiful dresses of which I wanted to wear and have. And I had an incredible mother who believed that anything that I believed that I could do, she really was a big support. And I sang in front of the mirror all the time, and then I met the Supremes, and then met Smokey Robinson, and he took us to Motown, and each step happened on its own.
But when you realized after you became the success, the kind of influence that you had?
You know, all I know is I wanted to be the best me I knew how to be, and I I always wanted children. Early on, we wanted to have kids. I remember saying on television when I was it had to be before I was 18 years old, that I wanted to have 6 kids. I got close, had 5, you know, but I always, somehow it comes from your example. My mother was a good mother. I wanted to be a good parent. And in a sense, I wanted to be a good example to my children the way my mother was.
You're a really good example for us, too. I think every young African-American woman that I know, when I say I know Diana Ross, they're envious because you have given us just this whole ideal of what you can be if you go and work for it. Yeah. And we thank you for that,
Diana.
Diana.
That's so wonderful. Thank you, Star.
We really do. I want to ask about the children because I've met your boys. Don't you start. I've met your
I'm a crier and a hugger, right?
I met you boys, and they're the light of your life. Now, are you going to take them out on tour with you?
Actually, my 5 children are the light of my life. I think that's the way I've been able to have a career.
And they're decent, wonderful children.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We got to touch wood, huh?
Touch wood, something.
Because I think, raising kids is a day at a time. I have 5 incredible kids.
2 of them are in show business.
Rhonda and Tracy, and my daughter Chutney will possibly be in. She wants to go back to school for children's animation. She's really so good with kids. Raising kids to me is a day at a time, and they're my priority. Like the other day, when I didn't think I was going to be able to do this show, I rushed home because Evan, my 11-year-old, loves to dance, play basketball, and he's a great fast runner, and he chipped his heel, and he's on a crutches now. And the thing you have to talk to a kid about when they hurt themselves and they want to do the thing, I mean, you've got to be there as a parent. You just have to be there. That's number one, and the career has to work its way around that. And I've been lucky to have that. Also, I've had great mentors, you know that, and I've been lucky to get really good songs.
Berry Gordy.
Yeah, Berry Gordy.
Can I talk about the first time you and I did our interview?
Yes.
Okay, so we were going to do an interview with Diane. And by the way, I had heard prima donna. You're going to cry a little?
Yeah.
She couldn't have been easier or more adorable. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that you hear. However, we went to see her house in advance. The house was all pastels. So I came the next day in pale turquoise to go with the pastel house. Tell them what you did.
Well, mostly what's funny about that is I never dreamed to have a house like that. I was brought up in the projects. I grew up in Detroit in the projects. And to be able to afford to have that house, it was basically empty when she came there.
They had some pastel furniture.
Pastels
Okay,
kind.
so?
You're right. And it was a big empty room, right?
Yep.
So I went out. It's Hollywood. I went out in Hollywood and I rented a whole bunch of furniture to fill up my house, so that Barbara, when she interviewed me, that looked like we really had furniture in that house.
So we came back the next day, and my pastel dress in the house was red, white, and black.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Overnight.
It's a wonderful interview. We should see, because you said something to me at the end of that interview. What would you want? And I said, to be in love. Yeah. Don't you remember
Yes,
some
I
moment
do
in there?
remember that, yeah.
It was a moment there, and then the next time we did an interview, now my children weren't even born when I was with the Supremes. My first daughter was born in '72. And, you know, she looked back at the interview. She said, Mom, you went from that moment to the next moment when we were in Connecticut, when I said, women can do everything. We can have babies and we can do everything. And she went like, wow, Mom.
Yeah, with portraits of the 3 kids, and here we are now, new chapter of your life.
Oh, a new chapter. That's what I'm looking at, too. In creating a life, this is a new chapter in my life. I'm very excited about now.
Well, you want to know what we're excited about? We're excited about in a few minutes. This audience is going to be treated to something they don't get to hear on a regular basis when we come back.
Are you going to do Baby Love?
Now, Star Jones is going to learn how to be a Supreme later on with the rest of you. But when we come back, Diana Ross and the Supremes will be right here. Stay right there.
If you thought the original Supremes were smoking, wait till you see who's backing up Miss Ross these days. Meet the new Supremes next.
Oh, wait, excuse me, sorry. I got carried away. Songs like Where Did Our Love Go and Stop in the Name of Love. Oh, they were instant classics. And they helped define the Motown sound. And it's still a sound that's adored by so many of us today. So, back with us is Diana Ross, and joining us are the Supremes.
I got to meet the two of you when we announced the tour way back at Grand Central Station. But, all right, Lynda, Scherrie, you were Supremes after Diana left the group. Now you're going back on tour with Diana Ross. So you have to be excited. Are you still pinching yourself, Scherrie?
Yes, I am. I'm in another world. I'm just ecstatic.
What's the most exciting part, Lynda?
I think being with Diana is probably the most exciting part, really, because she is so wonderful. She is the consummate performer, and we're learning so much from her. And, and she's humble. Yes, she is.
Gracious.
She's gracious and sweet. Really, and I mean that from my heart, from my heart.
And if she cut your salary 25%, you'd be even good.
What would you do? No, you know what I said? You know what I said when I first did my little bit on tape? I said, even if she had me up there mopping, I would leave it.
That's loyalty.
You know, they have a wonderful history that maybe the fans should hear their history, because actually they've been singing the music since 1971 and 1973. Maybe you go ahead and tell about how you got involved with the Supremes.
Former ladies of the Supremes, we called ourselves, and Lynda and myself, along with Jean Terrell, who had replaced Diana originally, and then I replaced Jean. Well, we formed the former ladies of the Supremes. Right. And we traveled all over.
And millions of people all over the world know the words to your songs. I mean, I know all the words.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's something, because if you don't know the words, if we don't know the words, we could get in trouble, because the audience knows.
I don't know the words. Don't you get scared that you're going to mess up the words? I'd be petrified.
Well, actually, there have been times when I have, you know, the word just didn't come, the next word didn't come, and I'd look in the audience and someone's singing that word. So it's like, oh, okay, I know what it is. You know?
When in doubt, you just smile.
Yeah, and sway. You know, you do the supreme sway. You know?
It's got to be grueling, all that swaying, though. How do you prepare for that? Because it's physically demanding.
Yes,
We're going to show you.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, here we are. That was a cue if ever I heard one.
Really?
So, here to perform Baby Love is Diana Ross and the Supremes.
You sing along, okay? We need you to work. Woo, come on.
Baby love, I need ya. Oh, how I need ya. But all you do is treat me bad. You break my heart and leave me sad. And tell me, what did I do wrong to make you stay away so long? But baby love, my baby love, I've been missing ya, I miss kissing ya. Instead of breaking up, let's do some kissing and making up. And don't throw our love away. In my arms, why don't you stay? Need ya, ooh, baby love.
Don't forget to sing along, okay? When we begin again, it's your turn, okay? Hey!
Baby love, my baby love, what's we love, separate my love. All of my whole life long, I never loved no one but you. Oh, why you do me like you do? I get this need, ready? What am I doing? I need you, need to hold you once again, my love. Feel your warm embrace, my love, and don't throw our love away. Please don't do me this way. I'm not happy like I used to be. Loneliness has got the best of me, my love, my baby love. I need ya, oh how I need ya. Say throw away, don't throw our love away. And don't throw our love away,
So you gave me my big chance and I missed it. But we'll be back with more of Diana. We'll try again. What do you say?
Do any of our
Songs of Diana Ross and the Supremes can't be separated from the fabulous looks and the moves of the ladies who sang them. And anyone who's ever dreamed of performing in a girl group better sit up and pay attention, because Diana's about to give us a master class on being a Supreme, which I love. What is the trick, Diana? Give it up. What's the trick to moving like a Supreme?
I really think that maybe Lynda and Scherrie know better about what they have to do as image-wise. But go right ahead.
Okay.
Well, you know, I think one of the things about being the Supremes, first of all, it's an attitude.
I got that.
Drama.
And it's all about drama. It's totally about drama. And then, of
Barbara
course,
has it too, I guess.
Of course, there's the moves, you know. I mean, we had one of the greatest, Charlie Atkins taught us this. You go this way, you go that way. It's the Supreme
A man
sway,
taught you
you
this?
know? Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's wonderful. And
Ladylike sensuality.
And yes, and always an attitude. Then you smile. You always smile.
Are you moving?
I'm moving the right way. Yeah.
I'm getting seasick now.
I like that.
Yeah, it feels good. There's a lot of posing.
You know, they have like gowns. We need
There you go. And that's right. You have to know how to pose. That's the class. You have to know how to pose. Yes.
Not straight up. No, even I know that. Not straight up.
Okay. All right.
Am I right?
Attitude.
Do you wear
But you know what, actually, I can just say, to me, it was about having an inner confidence It was about coming from a place of positive and caring. It was playful, but it was still very ladylike. We didn't go bumping and grinding. And we cared a lot about the image and what we represented with the young people, even when we were young. So even though it was a lot of swaying and a lot of movement, there was a lot of thinking going on about what you're standing for, who you stand for.
Trust us to mess that up.
Let's try not to ruin that image. The Vuettes will step to the back.
But we didn't learn this part.
Well, they're going to teach us the stuff. All right. Okay.
Just watch us.
All right, we'll join in. We'll step to the back.
All right, and the audience can join in.
In the name of love.
That's the first word.
Before you break my heart. Baby, baby, I'm aware of where you go. Each time you leave my door, I watch you walk down the street, knowing your other love you meet. And this time before you run to her, leaving me alone. And your turn, thinking, oh, haven't I been good to you? Sing along. Haven't I been sweet to you? Here we go. Stop in the name of love. Before you break. You're not singing, I can't hear you. Stop in the name of love. Before you break my heart. Think it over. That's right. Think it over. I've known of your secluded nights. I've even seen her maybe once or twice. But is her sweet expression worth more than my love and affection? This time before you leave my arms and rush off to her charms.
Haven't I been good to you?
Think it over.
Haven't I been sweet?
Stop in the name of love before you break. Your turn. Stop in the name of love before you. We'll see you on tour. Think it over. This is a good group. Think it over. I tried so hard to be faithful, hoping you'll stop this infatuation. But each time we are together, I'm so afraid of losing you forever. Stop in the name of love. Can we hear the audience? Okay. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Just stop.
We'll be right back with more Diana Ross.
Her view visit wouldn't be complete without a little more of what she does best. Diana brings down the house with a solo performance next.
She has been thrilling us for decades, and we're so pleased she's about to bring more of her magic into our studio. It gives me such pleasure to introduce singing I Will Survive from her CD, Take Me Higher, Miss Diana Ross.
Now this song is dedicated to each of you in the audience, and I want you to join in and sing with us too, because I think you might know the words to the song. Let's see. First I was afraid, I was petrified. You know this song? Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. And I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong. I learned how to get along. I saw you back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd known just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. 'Cause now pieces of my broken heart. And so I spend so many nights just feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that changed up little person still in love with you. And so you feel like walking in and you expect me to be free. Now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go now, go, walk out the door. Just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? No, 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 no. I will. As long as I know how to love, I know I'll survive. And I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give. I'll survive. I will survive. Go, go now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die?
Oh, no, nada.
No, nada.
I will survive.
I will. You will. We will survive. I've got all my life to live. And I'll survive. I will survive. I will. I will. Oh,
Thank you so much, Diana Laurence and the Supremes. You can catch the Return to Love tour in 23 cities, including Pittsburgh on June 14th in Philadelphia. And you can buy her CD, Take Me Higher, on our website. Thank you so much, darling. We love you too. We'll be right back.
We will all survive thanks to Diana Ross and the Supremes. Go see them when you're on the road. They are the best. Thank you all.
Thank you.
What a way to enjoy